Hey, Blue Rockers. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. Hope you guys are having a good night. It is cryptoconnie Tuesday, and I've kind of let you guys know across the board. Today was a big night. We're going to have Sean Worthington on, and he's going to tell us all about a different kind of coin. Is it real? Is it before its time? Is it just a big joke? Is it, well, I don't know. Is it legal? We'll find out. We'll be talking to Sean Worthington shortly here. You're watching Blue Rock Talk, Earth's most interesting conversations, people, places, and things. Have all sorts of really good things here. So those of you that are here for the first time, thank you for being a part of the show. If you'd like to become a Blue Rocker, it's easy. It's free. All you have to do is subscribe, and then you're going to be someone in the know, because we talk about all sorts of things here. It's Earth's most interesting conversations, right? So what we do is we talk about cryptoconnie Tuesday. It's all about cryptocurrencies. In the future, I'm going to be talking about, make sure I got the sound. I'm going to be talking about, we're going to be doing Wasted Wednesdays. So I'll be talking about a very serious look at the cannabis industry. On Thursdays, we do something like Far Out Thursday or Signature Thursday, because that's the first night Blue Rock Talk, that's the initial signature night of the show. And that's, I always like to say, anything between bees making honey, bees puking, and we eat it, right? And then, think about it, to hybrids and aliens and remote viewing and associative remote viewing and all sorts of things like that. And then on Fridays, we do Bigfoot Friday. You know what that is. And then on Sundays, we do a Bible study. It's called Stan's Bible Lecture. And that is a college level course that Stan Larimer teaches. He is also the guy with BitShares, the godfather of BitShares. You have all heard me talk about him before. And then we do a lot of break-ins every now and then, breaking news and walking trails and doing any type of research or anything like that. So always having a good time. Those of you new here, please, again, I hope that you subscribe and invite a couple people. We're over 12,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. And we're still going up. So please hit that like button and invite at least another 3 friends, because 3 is my favorite number. So I just picked that one right out of the air. And if everybody could do that, it would help out. And I can continue doing this. And then I can continue doing some of the things that I want to do, that are in my mind that I want to do, that will take, after it builds up more and some income comes in. And that is to take you on Bigfoot hunts, and to take, which is really more research. It's not hunting to kill. I'm a no-kill. And taking you on other types of really neat things. Maybe it's a cryptocurrency conference of some sort, or maybe it's to have dinner with the guy that you're going to be talking to tonight, or lunch. Dinner be better, because then it's longer, right? And then we can get him to pay for the steak, lobster. We can have fun with that one. We'll have to talk to him about that one. We'll see how well CloudCoin does. So, the higher, the more we build, the better it goes. So thank all of you for sharing. And again, hit that like button while you're here. Now, a few other things to talk about. Michael Taggart, who is president of Cryptonomics, he wrote a really, really nice article about CloudCoin. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And go check it out. It's on Medium. It's called Medium. Really, really great platform, Medium. Check that out too. But the link is down below, and he talks about some stuff that we'll be talking about tonight for sure. Also, I want to thank those of you that have given to me in crypto. Oh my gosh. If you give to me, to Blue Rock Talk, which if you give to Blue Rock Talk, it goes right back to the show. But if you give at all, I know a lot of people like to do things like fan funding, and they like to do things like Patreon, but they end up getting a piece of it. If you want it to go straight to me, only the IRS will get a piece of it, and that is give it to me in crypto. So that would be great. So down below, there's a lot of links, and my fave cryptos down there. I'm a lover of BitShares, as you know. I like Quintrix and CloudCoin, and you can also now find in the link below as well how you can purchase CloudCoin, so you can pass that on too. So I appreciate that, and thank those of you that did just recently give me crypto. Somebody gave me $1 million of something. I hope that one does well. I hope it does really well. George Norrie, I want to remind you too, you have until the June 18th. If you're new here, I'm also on Coast to Coast AM radio, iconic radio station, planetary. It's all over this big blue rock. And I'm on about once or twice a month. George Norrie, the host of it, is up. He is actually up for the National Radio Hall of Fame. He is inducted. There was nearly 800 people that were, to choose from. They're down to 24, and one of the nominees is George Norrie. So if you'd like to help induct him into the Hall of Fame, the Radio Hall of Fame, and let me tell you, that's enormous for a broadcaster. Then you can go vote by texting, dial 96,000 and text message 700, or you can vote by website, and that's at radiovote.com. All those links are down below as well. And then one more thing here is Marty Rosenblatt, ARV, Associative Remote Viewing. Those of you that love remote viewing, but then want to know about associate remote viewing, which is ARV. Normally we talk about CRV. ARV deals with, especially what Marty loves to talk about, is numbers and taking it to the roulette wheel, taking it to horses with betting and trying to win money using associative remote viewing. So listen to this. He sent this out today to everybody, so I wanted to pass it on to you really quickly before we bring in our guest. And that is, he has a free webinar tomorrow, so you can learn by watching webinar is what he calls it. So you can learn associative remote viewing. Just go to the link that I have down below, and that's where he teaches people how to use this method and win some money in Vegas, or watching some sort of sports or something like that. I actually took the class in Vegas, and it was fantastic. It worked. It was real. I won. I think we all did it collectively as a class. It was a one-day class, and I think we won enough money that we all split it up, and we were like, this was great. And it was the first time, so that was really fun. It's called Precognition / Retro Causality for Health and Wealth. So it's tomorrow, June 13th, and it's 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. That is a long time, but it teaches you it. He's going to go over some feedback from previous stuff to show you what has been done and how it worked. He is really strict, by the way. He's like, and then he's also going to do a month-plus long prediction. So the link is down below. I encourage you to take the class. Marty's great. Tell him I sent you. Tell him CryptoConnie sent you. And I'm hoping that he might do something with crypto in the future. I'm not sure if he's into crypto or not, but if so, maybe he can predict some things. If he's not into it, I'm sure there's a remote viewer out there that is, and I think that would be fun to do sometime in the future. So, okay, all right. My guest is sitting there waiting for me. He's been nice and patient, and he's thinking, gosh, I could have programmed a whole bunch of other new things, or maybe gotten us already on the platform of BitShares anyway, or the exchange. Anyway, let's, without further ado, let's bring on my guest here. Let me see if I can, I got to test and make sure I can get him here, because he just floated in on me. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to bring him in on Skype. Come on here. There we go. Skype guest. There he is. Let's include us both into this picture. That's our guest tonight, everybody. Smile. There you go. That, everybody, is Sean Worthington, the founder of CloudCoin and also of RAIDA. And by the way, you've seen him on here many times. I almost said on Coast to Coast. I'm so used to saying that now. But he also, which I think is the coolest thing of all, let me get his little name up here. Sean Worthington. Oh, that's not it. Oh, hold on here, Sean. There we go. Boom. Okay. Not only has he been here on CryptoConnie many times and Blue Rock Talk, and he knows how to do the sign of a blue rocker. That's right. But this was his first appearance on camera ever with CloudCoin and RAIDA. So, Sean, thanks. I thought that was like, and we'll always remember that as the coolest thing of all when you become a trillionaire, as I believe the first trillionaire ever will be from cryptocurrency. What do you think? Or, sorry, because you're not cryptocurrency, you are not that at all. So maybe it'll come from CloudCoin.
Yeah, I've done a lot of interviews since that first one, but I think that yours is still the best one.
Yay!
It was a very different experience because I have done probably 100 radio shows, but I think the future looks very good for CloudCoin. It is just getting brighter and brighter.
And what is CloudCoin? It is not cryptocurrency, correct?
That's right. And so one of the things with cryptocurrency is that you have this account on a public ledger, and you have a public key and a private key that you have to have. And the person that you want to send money to also has to have a public key and a private key in order to receive money that you send them. But with CloudCoins, the people don't actually have logins. There's no accounts. You don't have to have a username or password. Instead, all the money has authenticity numbers. And sometimes we call them passwords to keep it simple, but actually much more than just to be used to hold PIN numbers. It can be used to hold biometric data. It can hold information about your email address if you want to give up some of your privacy in order to speed up or make it possible for you to recover a lost CloudCoin should you lose it. And so it's a very different paradigm than the cryptology, and it basically works on like shredding. And so instead of having things hidden by encrypting them, we hide them by shredding them and hiding them all over the world.
You know what? It's funny. I can tell from the very first interview that we had together, and even though we had a good amount of them in between, I can tell you've done a lot of shows where they say, we got 2 minutes and go. Because you have learned to adjust to that. Where here, you can relax, and take your time. Right.
Actually explain myself. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. I know what it is. You need to turn your monitor down because you're listening with your monitor, right? And you need your earbuds on. And that way,
let me see if I can.
We won't cut each other off. So if you can get your earbuds, you're going to hate that, but.
Well, just wait a second, then I'll have to run and grab those.
Okay, that's fine. I'll talk to everybody. Thank goodness I can do that. So, no, I know from experience, past experience, as well as you guys know, that when people are being cut off, the secret is turn your monitors off and put your earbuds on, because that's what it is. It's the computers trying to stop each other kind of thing. Like when you're on speakerphone, the worst. But usually we would already have had that taken care of, but he had to run off and do something real quick right before we went on. So I'm hoping everything's looking good and sounding good. Please let me know if that's the case. Let's go ahead and look into what you guys are saying over here. I'm seeing, let's see, do we have the wrong name? Stan, says Stan. Do you have the wrong name, says Stan. Yeah, Stan is, do you have Stan's name upside down instead of, oh, I do. Oh, that's what y'all are talking about. I thought y'all were joking about, Stan not being here. He's on a cruise, having a big old time right now. So good for him and his family there. Let's see. You're right. I got the wrong one. Thank you. What would I do without you guys? Okay, let's see. Let me get that one done. Bam. Here we go. Ready? There we go. Thank you guys so much.
I've got my earbuds on now.
Oh, you do? Okay, let's see. I was calling you Stan on the font below, and Everybody let me know. So
Uh-huh.
Blue Rockers are the best people in the world. They're like, hey, yo, don't look bad, Connie. Don't look bad, Crypto Connie. Okay, wow, you went all out, huh? You went for the DJ look.
It's the nerdy look.
That's all right. This is still like kind of, come on, man, what is this hanging? I tell you what, though, these looks to me are way better than those like earbud, like Wi-Fi earbuds.
That just kind of pop out of nowhere. It's like,
Yeah,
what are they
they look like, I thought the very first time I saw that, and it was on my show, somebody was being interviewed, and I thought, I didn't say anything. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was, you know how people put those big buttons and nuts and whatever into their earlobe?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was some sort of special piercing, and I just went with it. I went, and then I started seeing them everywhere. I went, who came up with this? Not cool.
And when you see people walking around talking to themselves, seemingly.
It's typical, right? We all do that probably. I do that without a phone with me. So anyway, so again, Sean Worthington, everybody, we got the correct name down below. Founder of CloudCoin. He just gave you one of these great, pieces of information really quickly about what it's all about. And that's because, as we spoke, that he has been doing a lot of television and he's been doing a lot of radio interviews. And a lot of times it's really, really, really quick. Now, we've had you on Coast to Coast, gave you a full hour. That's a good amount of time to talk about this kind of stuff. Also here, you've been on Blue Rock Talk. You can talk as much as you want. It's not a problem. And you're here for us anytime we need you so that you can also answer questions. So it's live.
You got me.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, I know your number, man.
Yeah.
I got it. I got your number. You've even moved, I think. So anybody out there, I'm going to talk to Sean a little bit more here. And if you have any questions or you have any comments as well, just put them in all caps. That way I can see them. And if the show has gone on quite a while, then you guys know it's rolled all the way up to the top, so I probably won't see it. If I play around too much on the computer with all the different apps that I've got going, he may go away. So just redo it again later if that's okay. So, all right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I had some questions for you. First of all, Michael X, the president of Cryptonomics, and you guys, of course, know he's partners with Stan Larimer, the godfather of BitShares. Michael just, I don't know, Michael is in love with you and in love with CloudCoin and in love with RAIDA from the way he wrote his article, as you can agree, I'm sure.
It was very nice. Yes, it was very nice.
He was talking about all sorts of things. And he also mentioned Blue Rock Talk at the end of it, and that was very kind and gave a nice link. So thank you, Michael. He was going to join us tonight, but I think he's heading to Seattle, then he's going to New York, and then he's going somewhere else far, far away. You know, I mean, these cryptonomics folks, they're like everywhere. But it's great because even though Stan's relaxing this week, don't believe that. He's got an incredible hookup with Wi-Fi, and he's working in between fun. There's no question.
Yeah, it's really difficult to relax when you're in a project like he's in, because it's more fun than going on vacation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so you end up going on vacation and wishing you were back working.
That's true.
And your poor family is suffering because
all you can think about is work.
Yes.
Well, that's why I know it's so good to have somebody in your life that enjoys what you do as well, because they'll get it, right? They'll get it.
And for me, vacations are a time to think about inventions, because I'm an inventor, and the only thing I can do on a vacation is just think about things. And so it really gives me a time to try to come up with new ideas.
Well, you have a fantastic idea. And the very first time, again, that we both spoke here on Blue Rock Talk, when you told me it, because I didn't really study it ahead of time. I don't like to do that. I like to have a natural conversation. And so as I was asking you about it, my jaw was dropping because I was just learning crypto, and I'm still learning crypto and the blockchain and all this stuff, because it changes hourly. And as I'm learning it, here you throw in CloudCoin, and I'm just thinking, no password. It's in the cloud. It's truly transparent. I mean, or incognito. It's not transparent at all.
Yes, it's 100% anonymous.
Yeah.
Because if you don't record transactions and you don't log in and you don't have any kind of trail, and there's no data left behind about the transaction, then it really does make it 100% anonymous, where the blockchain is going to do its business by tracking everything that ever happens, so it can see who owns what. Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you have a fake username. It doesn't matter. They're still going to be able to find you if they want to. There's no question.
If they can find your public, or if they can find your private key on your computer, then they can link you to whatever you've done. Yes, certainly. And we have some governments like China as well as Venezuela have come up with their own blockchains, and they can basically assign you an account number, and then they know everything you buy and sell and how much money you have. They can take money from you. And the Chinese, they are just absolutely sinister. They will make it so that every time you buy something or do a transaction, they'll record your GPS information from your cell phone. Ooh. They will record what exactly you bought and all kinds of other data. Yeah, only communists could think of something that bad, but you know.
Well, we may be doing some stuff in the future with them with some gold. So,
Yeah, we just started in China, and we've got some people that are on the ground there trying to get started, and they can't even download our app from Google Play because the Chinese government blocks it. So we have to circulate it in just file format.
Well, I know Stan just did something out there, did a conference out there. They invited him. They treated him like a king, and he did this conference. And at one point I had said to him, hey, make sure. He had all these people there watching him, right, in this conference. And I said, hey, please make sure you mention Blue Rock Talk. That'll be great to get a lot more subscribers. And he was like, they don't get YouTube here. So
the YouTube's blocked.
It's like, what?
Sorry, too much freedom.
Does not compute. And thank you, God, that I am here. But he did put it down at the bottom, so that was kind of cool. Well, but what I was getting to as well, the fact that you are so different. I remember, too, as Michael X had written this article about you in Medium that was, so sweet and kind. I literally said to you the first time I met you, I love you. Because everything you said blew everything out the door. So from there, and remember that? Remember I said, I love you. I said, I'm sorry, I don't normally do this. The only time that happens is, it's rare, but or somebody has given me, like a 2-hour massage from a professional massage therapist, and I'll say, forgive me if I say that, but that means you're doing a good job. You lost my train of thought there because I was in love there for a second. But you have done everything to where I'd fallen in love with Stan and the BitShares and all that Cryptonomics is doing. We got the Quintrex going on, the $1 Billion Hero campaign, and all sorts of really cool things to come. They can't even be mentioned yet. Tremendous things. And then and it was like, let's get you guys together. You got together on Blue Rock Talk, and my thing was, okay, you're in the cloud. He's on the blockchain. You're both genius ideas and genius people. How do you come together? And so have you figured that out yet?
Well, we are in contact almost every day, and we are talking about just that. And we have all kinds of ideas, and we're brainstorming. And right now, we are in the process of getting CloudCoin into BitShares, into the BitShares Exchange, so that people can buy and sell CloudCoins through BitShares. And people then can also use their CloudCoins to buy and sell quints and gold and every other asset that they have on there. So that's going to be a big deal for for us, and that's going to be that right now is our number one priority. And everybody from me on down to everybody is making sure that any bottleneck in that process is taken care of. And we have a programmer right now that thinks that he can get the code done by Sunday, which I don't know if it's possible or not, but we're going to give him that challenge and see if he can do it.
I love it. I love it. So, okay.
But our goal is to get it done by July 11th of next month.
Okay, all right. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if you could celebrate 4th of July with it? So maybe you can do it.
That would be nice, yeah.
That would be excellent, excellent. Well, Quintric is also kicking off. They're launching everything on the 4th of July, even though things are out there now. And even though, and you know, you're selling CloudCoin as well right now. In fact, there's a link down below, everybody. There's a link down below. Yes, it's an affiliate link. So, hey, you know, if I'm passing it on to you, I get a little piece, you don't even notice it. You don't even notice it, okay? So don't go to someone else and give it to them. Come on. There's already some folks in there asking questions. Again, you may have to ask them later if I miss them, okay, everybody? But so if this person that takes on the challenge and gets it done in 3 days, or even, you know, if it happens on the 11th, what's that mean? What does that mean for us as the investors, as your clients? What are we? We're your investor at that point, right? If we buy CloudCoins.
Well, no, you're not an investor. CloudCoin is not a security. Oh. It's a project, and we don't. If we wanted to make it into a security, what we would do is we would sell it beforehand. We would say, "Hey, we got this idea. We're going to sell CloudCoins, and then we're going to actually implement them." But CloudCoins, they have all been minted already. All of them have, and they're in the process of being spent. So the only way that you can get them is to buy them from somebody who has earned them. And if this, you know, what that means is that our phase 3 goals are coming to an end, and we can move on to phase 4. And so we have, the first goal is to get the RAIDA working, and it's working very well. The second goal is to get the client software working so that we can pass coins from person to person, and that's also working very well. And the third goal is to get liquidity, and that means that we can exchange it, we can have it being used on websites. We've got xyzbuys.com that's going to hopefully be accepting CloudCoins within the next couple of weeks. Just have a few technical problems to work out with that. And also having an easier way of transferring the coins. So we've got something called trusted transfer. It sends the coins to a server. The server checks them to see if it's good, and then it sends them to the receiver. This allows us to do this in video games. We've got SDKs as part of the liquidity.
Yay!
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
It is, and so we've had our first game that was just, you know, it's just to show that we can actually do it, and we can actually put CloudCoins.
What was that, like games. A bird or a butterfly thing or something? What did you have?
No, we have actually it's 3 card, like it's kind of like 3-card Monte.
What?
And so what happens is it's a virtual reality. Oh. So you're wearing these goggles, and you take your CloudCoins out and you set them on the table, and then these boxes come down, and one covers the CloudCoin and the other ones don't, and then it mixes them all up, and then you have to guess which one has the CloudCoin, and if you get it right, then you win the CloudCoin back.
Oh, why should you lose it?
But you get 3 guesses, so there's no way you can lose.
Oh, okay. Well, and if you do, you better just take off now.
That's a problem.
There's a problem there.
So we've proven that it works, and we're in the Go engine. Once we just finish this trusted transfer thing to make it easier for people to pass them around. But that whole liquidity thing, we've been working on it very hard, and everything that we've been working on is now coming to fruition. And so once that's done, then we move into marketing stage, and that means just telling everybody about it. And even though I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to on the radio, and I'm talking now to newspapers, I'm starting to talk to some major newspapers, we haven't been marketing as far as spending any advertising money on it, and really going out and telling the world about that. And so I'm hoping that we can drop a big giant marketing bomb. And once we're ready, once everything works smoothly and we got all the bugs worked out, we just are working on the next version of our client software. We've got these new professional quality assurance testers and new professional programmers and new professional UI designers or user interface designers, and so it's going to be totally different than what we had before. And once that's all ready, then we want to start inviting people to come and try it out. And I think that that's when we're really going to be able to say, hey, go to BitShares and buy it, or hey, go here and get it. It's going to make it a lot easier, and we should see, I think, some real action in the CloudCoin.
Okay, well, you've confused the heck out of me on that.
I'm sorry.
So tell people your background, and this is probably why most of you guys. He's a whiz with computers. So tell people your background, your education.
Sure, and I should start by saying that most people that are in the crypto business that are the real PhDs, know what they're doing, have degrees in computer science. I actually have a degree in computer information systems, and computer information systems is a different set of it's not computer science exactly, although there's so much that we have to program things, but we go into networking, we go into operating systems, we go into protocols, we're concerned about privacy and some other things that aren't necessarily computer science related.
So you go on a broader range and you look at the bigger outlook, I guess. Bigger perspective.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right. And so I was working on a PhD in computer information systems.
Wow.
And that's when I realized that monetary systems, in fact, I wasn't just working on it, I was working on my dissertation, which is the last part of it.
Oh, wow.
And I realized that monetary systems are information systems. And they're just databases that track how much value that we put into the economy to make sure that we can get the same value out. And I also realized that we could take all of the rules that we apply to databases and we could apply those to monetary systems, and we could create a model for the perfect monetary system. And I also understood what the blockchain is. And the blockchain is actually a very special thing in mankind because it is a database. It does store data. But unlike other databases, you can't delete from it. You cannot change records that have happened in the past. But you can read them and you can add more records. And it has no owner, and there's no company that owns it either. And so it's what I call a superbase, or a database that's owned by the superorganism that we might call human society. It's owned by civilization, all humanity. And that is, there's only one other data structure that is like that I can think of, and that's called the domain name system. And the domain name system is something that we use every day, almost every second when we're using the internet, because our computers need numbers or addresses that are numbers in order to talk to other computers, but we give them names like www.google.com or www.youtube.com, and so they've got to translate that, and that's done with a domain name service. It is a service that's been up since 1985, never gone down, and hackers would love to take it down. Rogue governments would like to take it down. So.
Really? That's a goal, huh? Because it's tough, right? So that's a big goal for hackers. Let me take this down because nobody is supposed to be able to.
Suppose that you hated Google because they screwed up on your advertisement or something. So a hacker might go take them down by taking down the DNS system so that it doesn't resolve anymore.
Oh.
But they couldn't do that. I mean, if the DNS system went down, the entire internet would go down.
Right.
And wouldn't some jihadists love to do that? Wouldn't North Korea like to do that? Screw us by taking down the DNS. They can't do it. And so I taught DNS for 17 years, and I know these protocols. And something called TCP/IP, which is the internet without the TCP/IP protocol. TCP/IP protocol is nuclear proof, literally. It's designed so that the president can talk to a general, and there can be nuclear bombs falling all on the networks in between there, and we'll still find a route and get that to there. And if any packets have been destroyed, it'll resend them. And the internet as a whole has never gone down. It's not a database, however, in that it doesn't actually. It's a document storage thing. But what I did is I took a look at these and created the RAIDA. And the RAIDA is also a super base. It's only the third super base that I know of in creation. There's now something called the hash graph that's going on. That could also be a super base of times. But what we figured out is that we can create through the cloud the same kind of physical integrity that the blockchain gives the cryptocurrencies. Because the blockchain actually is built on a lot of superstitions. In monetary systems, what is important is not what the money is printed on, like gold coins or silver coins or dollar bills or even hard drives. What's important is that the data has integrity. And so you can't just, part of that integrity is physical integrity. You can't just take a gold coin and make it disappear. And so it doesn't rot and it doesn't corrode. And so something like gold gives the money is actually the data that's written on it, the physical integrity. And the blockchain was the first to solve this problem. We had a currency in California called e-gold, and what happened is that everybody put their gold into a vault and they issued electronic currency against that. And it worked excellently, and they were doing billions of dollars worth of business, and it looked like the digital currency had finally been solved. But then a thief came in and busted down the door, took the vault, and stole all the money.
Ah.
That thief was the state of California, by the way.
Oh.
And we realized that currency didn't have physical integrity. But Bitcoin,
right.
The governments cannot shut it down, and neither can they shut down CloudCoin.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you were in the middle of telling your background. So not computer science major, but a computer systems.
Information systems. And I've taught system administration classes like network infrastructure for decades, and all the protocols, DHCP, DNS, stuff like that.
Yes. But that's okay. You know what I love about Sean, another thing about Sean that I love and that you guys will probably love as well, especially if you haven't seen any of his videos in the past here on Blue Rock Talk, is that genius mind, but down to earth, great sense of humor, absolutely hilarious, comes out of nowhere, and just fun, grounded person. And all that combined is fun to work with, fun to listen to, enjoyable to talk with. And to me, that's important when I want to purchase any type of coin or cryptocurrency or anything in the cloud, because it matters who's behind it to me. It matters who's behind it. I mean, even nowadays, when everybody kind of tells their opinion about what they like and what they don't like anymore, some of the best actors I've loved all my life, when all of a sudden they get to where they want to tell things that they should just keep to themselves, and their PR and their managers and their agents should tell them to stop. It's turned me off. So if I even saw some coin that I thought was really extra special, if I knew the backbone of that coin might be somebody that I wouldn't even want to have dinner with them or lunch with them for a short amount of time if I had to. That makes a difference for me. So maybe it makes a difference for folks out there as well, Blue Rockers out there, when you decide to purchase. So I've been very happy learning Stan Larimer, as well as Michael X, as well as you. And I'm looking forward to meeting with the Quintric people at one point so we can talk with them. And I think you've really studied the Quintric folks as well here, at least the white papers and everything that they're doing, because I think that as they have something that you can hold in your hand and liquidate it, you're very different as well, It's like, how do we get to that? So what do you think of Quintric?
Well, Quintric is what I would call a referential currency. And, we're also creating a referential currency called CC token that represents cloud coins. And that kind of thing, works, and hopefully it doesn't stop working. What you have to do is you have to maintain something called referential integrity. And that means that the coins that are out there actually refer to coins that exist, or that the quints actually represent money that's in the vault.
Right.
And so when you buy a quint, you have to wait 3 weeks, right? At least right now. And maybe it's
right now.
Yeah, at least right now. And I think that's because they have to go through a whole process of making sure that the right coins or the right gold is put in the right place, and they have to manage that. Do you know if that's going to be faster in the future? Or,
I think it is, but remember, we're still at pre-launch there, right?
Yeah.
So, or they are, and so 4th of July is supposed to be the big launch, and hopefully yours is before then or after, right around the same time.
So they've, quite often with these referential currencies, they have gone bad in the long run. For example, there was something called silver certificates. The United States currency was based on silver. He had a piece of paper that represented a piece of silver that was in the vault somewhere. And then what happened is, the silver just seemed to have disappeared, and Nixon took everybody off that standard. So these things do tend to go wrong, but at least in the short run, they've proven to work very well. And of course, the main thing with Quintrix is they've got to distribute their risk as much as possible. I don't know exactly how much they do it, but I know that they have some vaults in Utah, and I think that Utah is a good place to put them. You don't want to put them in California because we've already seen what's happened there.
Holy cow!
And you also don't want to put them all. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, and so you probably want to disperse the vaults all over the world. Maybe even hide them, with enough information to verify that they're actually there.
Now you have a vault or bank. What are you calling it? Are you calling it bank or vault? And it's in the cloud. I like vault. I hope you. What are you calling it? You calling it bank or vault?
Well, actually, we're calling it a depository.
Oh, a depository. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yes.
Now I've done enough ghost hunting that's like you don't want to go to the depository. That's no, that's scary. Okay, that works. So it's so different. So I'm not understanding how BitShares meets CloudCoin. Okay, so because you have the blockchain. And you have you in the cloud. So if you can describe, okay, like right now, I know that there's a link below, everybody, that you can actually purchase CloudCoin right now. Go down to the link below, boom, you can start purchasing it. You're not on the exchange yet, you're working on that. So, okay, so maybe that's the better question. I can buy them right now, like through the link. Very easy. I get a depository.
Well, I'm sorry, where we're putting the cloud coins for reference for BitShares is called the depository.
Oh, okay.
We call it just a pocket bank where we actually store stuff.
Okay. Store stuff. Cloud?
Yes. I mean, where we actually, if we store it unencrypted, call it a bank, and store it encrypted, we call it a vault. So we have some technical terms there.
Okay. All right, so I can buy it like through the link that I have below.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens when it gets on the BitShares exchange?
So you'll be able to go to a website and you'll be able to put in your BitShares username, and you'll be able to upload CloudCoin into the depository, and then our server will check to see if the CloudCoins are authentic. If they are, it will then send your username wallet a bunch of CC tokens, and there's a one-to-one relationship. So for every one cloud coin you put in, you get one CC token. And then what you can do is you can go on the exchange and quickly exchange those CC tokens for what's called BitUSD. That's the token for the US dollar. You can change it for the quint, which is the token for the gold. You can change it for all kinds of assets and just about every currency that you could imagine. I mean, they really got a lot of stuff on there. And then you can basically get some other asset that you want in exchange for your cloud coins. Now you could also go there with your CC tokens. Suppose that you wanted to buy CloudCoins on the exchange, you could trade your BitShares or your Bitcoins or whatever you've got for CC tokens, and then when you want to, you can go to the depository and transfer them into the depository's wallet, and then you will receive CloudCoins in your email.
Right. That is so cool, by the way. So I have some CloudCoin, and it's an attachment. It's a JPEG. It's amazing. Yeah. It's really so different and mind-blowing. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Well, there's the ledger-based monetary systems like CloudCoin, and by the way, the island of Yap is a ledger-based system with their big giant stones. But that's actually a very unusual type of money. Most money is what I'd call a discrete currency. It is money that circulates around with people. It's not on a ledger, and that's what CloudCoin is. It's a discrete currency, just like gold coins or silver coins or Federal Reserve notes, the paper money for that matter. By the way, PayPal is also a ledger. It is a private ledger, though. So PayPal is a very popular payment system, but it's actually a monetary system, and it's a global monetary system.
Have they with crypto? Are they okay with crypto?
They absolutely hate crypto and anything that competes with them. And so if you have PayPal and you try to buy some Bitcoin, they will suspend your account and they will lock you out for 6 months and take your money.
Wouldn't they make a killing if they did that, though? I mean, if they accepted it?
Well, to begin with, when CloudCoin started, we actually had a partnership with PayPal, and what they realize is that cryptocurrencies, and especially something like CloudCoin, kills their business because we offer other benefits that PayPal does not. And so PayPal is heavily regulated by governments. In some countries, it's actually illegal. And so if I want to buy something with PayPal in what's that right next to Russia? Gosh darn it. It starts with a U. Ukraine. Okay. So if I try to buy something in Ukraine with PayPal, I can't do it because it's illegal, believe it or not. So PayPal is also taxed. PayPal has fees, a lot of fees. They make a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
And they can just suspend your account and keep your money. And they also report to the IRS, and they are very different than a cryptocurrency. And so we want to create a PayPal without the bank fees, without the taxes, without the tariffs, without the reporting, without the government monitoring, which is very possible, without having the PayPal people be able to go and look and see who's doing what, or the CIA being able to see who's doing what. So it's quite a big difference.
Yeah, I can. You had said it like this before, and I thought it was the best analogy. It's like me having $10 in my wallet, or $25 in my pocket, and I can just go and get whatever I want with it. No one knows that I've even spent it. No one knows what I got with it. No one knows if I spent half of it, a piece of it, or maybe lost it along the way, fell out of the hole, right? So that's cool. That's what we're used to, right? We get the money, and then it's in our pockets, and we go from there.
Yeah, and even something like checking accounts and banking accounts, if I want to go and buy my wife a birthday present without her knowing about it, she can just look at the records and see what I've got for her. I mean, she can see where I've been shopping. And if I want to go and buy something without her knowing about it at all, I can't even do that. And so by having, privacy is a big part of money. We've had private currency with gold and silver coins for thousands of years. It isn't until recently that everybody's been able to track things and monitor things.
Yeah.
And so it'll be very good if we can go back to that privacy. People make better decisions, and we'll have a stronger economy because of it.
What are you doing with your money that you went this far? You wanted to hide your money, and you're spending so much that you went this far. Good for you.
If I go to Walmart, I might get in trouble for buying cheap stuff, if I try to economize.
Hey, there's some good stuff there. And people.
And, I hate to say it, but sometimes you like to get a bargain on those flowers, and And,
Oh, yeah, you better not
that's
say
a
that,
big
dude.
no-no. You better spend a lot, otherwise.
That's right. That's right.
If you're talking about jewelry, oh my gosh.
Hey, you're buying for your woman, you better be taking care of us. That's exactly right. Don't cheap out. I remember a guy, that reminds me, I remember this guy, he was so proud that he had gotten me a refurbished camera. And all I could do was, it just hurt. It's just a woman thing. I mean, I'm sure it's other people too. It's not, don't get offended, anybody out there. But it was kind of hurtful, and the guy was so proud of it. He thought it was refurbished. It was great. It's like, no, a guy thing, that's cool for a guy. I just got this great camera. It was a great deal refurbished, and it's wonderful. But you don't do that for your woman. You don't do that.
No, you don't. For your woman, you want to show all the money. And
I was like, strike two.
One more,
buddy. It was not good for Valentine's. Anyway, that's so funny. I'll never forget that. It reminded me of so many things there. Well, so am I going to be able to trade CloudCoin? Am I going to be able to trade it on the exchange?
Oh, certainly. I mean, right now we're working with XYZ Buys, like I said. You should be able to just go to a store and buy stuff with it.
Yeah.
And we're also working on what I would call a grassroots effort, door-to-door knocking, trying to get everybody to use CloudCoins. We're starting in Los Angeles and here in Chico, and we're trying to. We already did some experiments in Venezuela, so we know what is required, and hopefully we'll get everybody using it.
Oh, speaking of, I forgot to pass this on to everybody in all the telegrams and the BitShares telegrams and the cloud telegrams. So if somebody's out there that can go ahead and tell people, send the link, if you can do that. And I see Pat Konchak out there. Pat, can you hit all the telegrams for me, please? I bet you're a part. I bet you know of all the telegrams. That would be great. I'm so sorry. I forgot. What's wrong with me? So when I say trade on the exchange, so I go on the BitShares exchange and I see where I could trade BitShares for this, or I can trade Steam it for this or that. Can I do the same with you? Or
that's right.
I will be able to.
Yes. So it's just like the Quint. If you buy Quint, then you own gold, and then if you actually want the gold, you have to go to the depository and withdraw it, and that's of course a physical process that takes time. But with CloudCoin, it's electronic, and so you can quickly change from CloudCoin into something else. Okay. It should be just automatic, really convenient. And
well, the cool thing about it's not just the CloudCoin that's so cool and the way it's done and how different it is. And I love that you're able to connect it to the cryptocurrency world. But your RAIDA, that's really where it's at, right? That's really your...
That's what makes it possible.
Yeah.
And so like right now I'm trying to think of a way in which we can make it so that music cannot be pirated. And I mean, nobody can replay it unless they've got authentication.
No, but give me the key to not having that be the case. No, I wouldn't even care. I don't steal music. It's okay.
But the RAIDA was
and
like
by the
that.
way,
How
everybody, he laughed at that joke. It just froze. It froze when you laughed, so it looked like you were like kind of mad.
So the invention of the RAIDA took many, many months, many vacations thinking about things. And it was, how can we create a counterfeit detection system? Because the way that the blockchain works is it tracks every single transaction. You have to make a big chain, and the database gets bigger and bigger. So the blockchain for Bitcoin is like 160 gigabytes right now, and getting bigger. But we don't have that. We've got this authentication system, and just had to think one little piece at a time, and it seems like it's so easy to, when it's all done, you look at it, it seems like, oh, that's an easy thing to think of, but it really takes quite a lot of work. And because I have a lot of experience in network protocols and databases, I think it was possible for me to do that.
Yeah.
But basically, usually when we go and we want to get a resource, such as we want to get to our Facebook page, we will log in. We have a username and password. We log in for that. And I started thinking about how the money itself could have the resource. And the resource is, who's my owner? And then how could we get it so that the person could be the owner? And that, of course, is knowing something about the coin. And so one of the things that's unique about the RAIDA that hasn't ever been done before is that the RAIDA is based on 25 authentication servers that all work in parallel. So this is the first time we've had something like that. Usually you go to one server, one database, one username, one password. But here we've got 25 completely separate and independent databases. They're actually different architecture, but they all speak the same protocol. They're all over the world, different jurisdictions, and the CloudCoin has 25 different logins for them all. And so this happens because of the speed of light. These signals can travel across the world and back within 2 seconds. In fact, most of our transactions only take 1 second, and we just installed these new Aerospike databases, which are just amazing. We tested them. They were doing 160,000 transactions a second, which is faster than they even advertise. They don't even they say they can go do 100,000 transactions. And now we're looking at these backbones, and it could be possible, I think, for us to be able to transact in CloudCoins with under 200 milliseconds, and that's basically 0.2 of a second. That would make CloudCoin the fastest system in the world, and also able to handle the most amount of transactions in the world. And it's because it's so simple. Like if I want to use my debit card, I've got to send a signal to a central server. It talks to one database, talks to another database, coordinates, creates this transaction, does the transaction, then checks to make sure that they both actually did the transaction. If they didn't, then it has to roll it back. But all we do is a simple update. We just say, hey, look in your database. Here's the serial number. Here's the password. If the password's there and it's right, just change it. And it's just takes very little electricity, very little time. We're like 10,000 times more efficient than the blockchain when it comes to electricity. We don't need big giant computers in servers rooms. Our computers are very small in the server rooms. We just need the bandwidth.
And that's what's so amazing, that to me, I thought, well, this just blows the blockchain away. So, but yet here you are brand new and you are wanting to get on the blockchain. So why is that, and why Stan, Larry Murr, Michael X, and Cryptonomics and BitShares?
So there's one property that CloudCoin does not have. And, well, actually, there's more than that just right now, but one of them is that...
And what are they? Let me write those down.
So of course, BitShares has been around for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And so they're established and well into things, and they've got infrastructure, and they're able to do tons of stuff that we cannot do. But they also are able to record things, and so because of the blockchain, you can record all the transactions, and that's great if you want to keep records and make sure nobody's screwing with them. And so if I wanted to record the title of my house, they have this problem in Africa where I guess people are stealing the houses because they go and bribe some official to change the documents in their recording offices. But with the blockchain, it just seals it in there. Nobody can change it. If anybody tries to change it, people know, and it's obvious. And so the blockchain can record things, and RAIDA does not record anything. So it doesn't record any transactions. So that's one of the things that it can do, and BitShares is, of course, the best at that. So they can do it the fastest. They have technology that just blows away every other cryptocurrency. Every other cryptocurrency is like, they don't subscribe to this designated, it's called the designated node, or like a designated authoritative, or no, delegated. I'm sorry.
I'm just letting you. I'm just watching you struggle.
I don't sound like an expert right now, do I? They've got the delegated.
Get that
authority.
shot of tequila behind you, and then they continue on, please.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a little vodka, just a little vodka.
And so they've got some specific nodes that are in big giant data centers, which take care of all of the heavy lifting. And I think that's a great idea.
I'm sorry, what? I'm still laughing. No, I'm just kidding.
So BitShares does quite a better job.
They do. And
yeah.
that's where I think, and that's where I go back to the people of the backbone of these entities out there. To me, is the most important thing. It, that first.
Yes, and there's
that integrity shows.
Yeah, if you're really somebody that actually can do stuff and knows their business and knows what's happening, then you can recognize those people that do know what's going on. And of course, Dan Larimar is a genius, and he has really done a lot for blockchain. He's taken that technology and really expanded on it much better than anything else. And so he's a true Satoshi.
Somebody on Steemit it was on Steemit the other day, had said something. They had seen my posting of Stan, and it said something about, they asked something like, is Stan your son, or is Dan your son, or you Dan, you're not Dan, or something like that. And Stan wrote back, I used to be the master, or I was once the master, and then your son came along, boom. That's funny.
That's
I mean, golly, when somebody puts $4 billion, and says, here, go in a room and make your next idea work. You're wow. You know what? Wouldn't he be like one of the most, gosh, he'd be worth a lot in the mercy. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. He's worth a lot.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard from Stan talking to you is that they don't let him out of the room.
That's right.
to have to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about anything. I've got to worry about tons of things, but he doesn't have to worry about anything except for developing. Yeah. And so that's very good.
Yeah, you do. But I got to tell everybody, before we get to the questions here, I got to tell you, when you talk to Sean, it's funny. Now, Sean, I don't know your setup at all, but this is what I usually see when I'm talking to you. Yep. So you must have monitors all the way across, or you just moved. So maybe you did. I don't know how it is now, but
well, I've got a big mirror over here, and I quite often look at myself in the mirror.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah.
So I probably should get rid of the mirrors, but.
But he's looking at stuff. He's typing. He's got kids and family in the background doing their thing.
You're saying yes. Yes.
Just you. He's doing about 16 things at once, and he's still answering my question, and without a problem. So in my world, on Signature Thursday, Blue Rock Talk, or Far Out Thursday of Blue Rock Talk, we would call you a hybrid. You would be half alien, half human, with a mind like that. So there you go. Maybe you are, and welcome to Blue Rock Talk and our planet. So if you're just now joining us, you're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. This is CryptoConnie Tuesday, so right now you can call me Crypto Connie. Please take a look at the links below. We're talking with Sean Worthington, the founder of CloudCoin, and also RAIDA. There's links down below where you can learn more about him, and there's also a link down below where you can purchase the CloudCoin. I saw that I think it's Joshua Todd and some other folks that have been emailing me asking me, how do I get it? I was like, wait. And literally I was basically given the link like last night, right? So I got it. We're moving forward, and he's getting on the BitShares exchange with CloudCoin. So I'm sure there's a whole lot more questions. I know I have some, and we'll go through those along the way. But let's go ahead and hit some of the questions that we have from the viewers. Just a reminder once again, tomorrow, those of you out there that love controlled remote viewing, I'll give you a little quick break, Sean. You can go guzzle some more of that video. Okay. I'll just show me here for now, so you can guzzle. Take that down, baby. It's It's water. But anyway, it's a joke we have. If you are interested in, you guys have seen controlled remote viewing with me and Lynn Buchanan and Lori Williams, and some other people will be here as well on my show, and I've talked to them on Coast to Coast as well, if you've got to hear me on there. But associate remote viewing, Marty Rosenblatt, also on Coast to Coast as well with me and George. But it's associative remote viewing. That's where it really deals with what Marty teaches you, is how to use that embedding and win money. I'm hoping maybe one day I can get him into the crypto world. I don't know. I sent an email, haven't checked yet, had to go, so I'm sure he wrote back. He's very good about that. But, you know, some people are into it and some people are not, so we'll see. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll find some other people into it. But if you would like to take a free webinar, he's got one that he's holding tomorrow. I saw him offering it today, and I asked him if I could share that, and he said absolutely. So I do have a link below as well, so you can learn with Marty. It's a 3-hour webinar. It's a learn as you go kind of thing, and it's free, so check it out. I mean, I took his class in Vegas, and it was fantastic. Later on, our entire class put our money together, and we went down there and did the roulette wheel, and we won. You know, it was great. So we split up all the money. So he calls it Learn by Doing webinar, and you're going to learn precognition / retro causality for health and wealth. So that's going to be tomorrow from 3 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. And again, it's free. The link is down below. Don't miss that. I think you'll like it, and you may go a whole lot further with it too, because you can use it in the crypto world. Maybe he doesn't like crypto, but he'll teach you, or at least he'll show you in a way where you can also, you know, pick it up and do it that way. Or maybe you just want to go bet the horses, or maybe you want to, whatever you want to do. I think you're going to like that. So, yeah, really cool. If you have not subscribed yet to Blue Rock Talk, please do. Thank you that we're over 12,000 subscribers and growing. Also, if you have not hit that like button yet and you're liking the show, please do. I appreciate that. And we need to grow and continue to grow and keep growing. So if you can invite someone right now to share in the program, that would be fantastic. It'll help us all the way around. And if you want to give to Blue Rock Talk, don't fan fund. I may get back into the Patreon. I got some friends of mine, Jerry Wills, you know, doing pretty well with it. Maybe I'll get back into that. But they all take a piece of it. I'd rather you give in crypto. And you can do that by checking out my favorite ones down below, and some of my wallets and things like that. BitShares, just throw it on in. This is a BitShares and cloud kind of day. So those are my folks there. And thank all of you that have given. That's really nice when you do. It's such a nice little surprise when I go in there and go, oh my gosh, somebody gave me more BitShares, or somebody gave me some new things that I've never even heard of. And one of those, Sean, is called I think it's Bit Millionaire, and they gave me 1 million of them. So if that goes over, I'll pay for that dinner, okay? And the entire family can go, okay?
I just hope it's not one of those Zimbabwe things where I guess some African leader decided that the way that they could make everybody rich was just to give everybody $1 million.
As long as I got it, I guess, right? Or what?
Well, what happened is they gave everybody in the country money, and unfortunately that didn't make anybody richer. It just gave them, you know. So I hope it's not just giving away millions of dollars to everybody. That's
true. That's true. Well, when it comes to, though, when it comes to coins, you have to have a allotted amount.
Well, I don't really think so. You could actually have a monetary system that only has 4 people, as long as it's keeping track of who's created value and who should get value out. And so CloudCoin certainly started small. We actually do give away 5 free CloudCoins if you sign up for a book or something like that, or if you sign up for an email letter on some things. But that's a very small amount, and it's kind of worth it to us to educate the public. But otherwise, we're paying people to do stuff, and they're earning it.
That's true. But I do believe I may be wrong. I am still the student, but you're not a blockchain dude. You're a cloud guy, and I think they only make so many coin, and that's all you get to pass out. That's what keeps it. That because the whole problem of the dollar is they continue to make more. Stop. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
So let me go in here. Sean was on Fox Biz.
True.
Were you? Yeah, true or false? Yeah.
It was on the 10th. That was a Sunday, and I didn't actually watch the show. I'm sorry, but from what I understood, I was on Fox Business News with Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington.
Kevin, I know Kevin. I know Kevin from infomercial days.
All right.
Little Kevin. He's
yep.
So you met him. You ended up meeting Kevin, right?
Yeah, I actually seemed like a pretty nice guy, and shook his hand and got to have a good conversation with him. And I'm going to meet him again next month in Freedom Fest. He's going to be part of our booth, actually.
Oh, excellent. Okay, very nice guy. He's a very, very nice guy. Brilliant when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I mean, and that's what I guess he touts. Is that. So
he's going to be the number one. Next month he's going to be probably the number one marketer for CloudCoin.
Oh, excellent!
And so that seems like a good thing to brag about.
Excellent. That's right. That's right. All right, Kevin. I should text him. I should text him. Tell him Skype me if he's got the same number. Hey, get on here. What are you talking about? Anyway. He is a very nice man. Okay, so let me go back here. If you have a question, put it in all caps. I'm going to go all the way to the back and start from there because I saw some questions early. When will CloudCoin be trading on BitShares? When will that happen? You've kind of mentioned that.
So my goal is by July 11th, by the time that we go to Freedom Fest, that we have that up and going and working, and everybody can buy and sell it on BitShares. And so we'll have we've got two teams working on it, I guess you could say, and one of them is very professional, and the other one is a guy that says, I can do it. So they're kind of having a race, and I think, both of them say that they can get it done in 30 days. So I really hope that we can do that.
So do we all. So Maven has another question here. I think it's been answered. What is the process of moving my coins to a new PC?
So those coins are files, and you probably have them in your program, which is the CloudCoin Consumer Edition or Founders Edition or something. And so what you need to do is you need to move those files, and there's different ways to do that. Probably the easiest way is just to export them, and then copy and paste those onto a USB drive, put the USB drive into a new computer, and then import them by downloading the software and import them into the new CloudCoin Consumer Edition.
It's just as easy as having, to me, I kind of see them as like a little stamp, just a little picture, just because if you've not seen them, it's really cool looking. I mean, it's just really different. It's very unique. It's little dollars and a little bank account kind of thing, and it's just fun. It's fun. It's actually fun. How dare you make this fun? It really
We're trying, and we'll probably get a lot more fun as we go along.
Well, I know originally when it was started, he's a PC guy, and I'm a Mac chick. So the PC looked, all that stuff looked great. He was like showing me how good it looked, and I don't have PC, but I have Mac, so I'm like, hey, this doesn't look so great. But you've worked on that, right? So it looks good now.
Yeah, and we're going to have another edition coming out hopefully in the next month.
Okay, thank you.
Right now, all of our guys are working on something called Celebrium.
Right.
And that's coming out hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I think that we've tested the hell out of that, and we found some errors, and then we had to test it again, and we found more errors, and it's been kind of a buggy process, but I think we got them all done now.
All right, well, and also, everybody, Blue Rockers, be prepared, because Blue Rock Talk has something really cool coming up with Cloud too.
That's right.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Got some other ideas to throw at you there too, Bucko, so be ready. Be ready. Okay, let's see. Patrick Konchak. Pat is taking care of people in here. That's so nice. He's cool. Let's see. I think, a lot of times everybody in the chat room just talks amongst themselves. So, hey there, Amos, welcome. Amos is new. What is new in Beyond Bitcoin second editions?
So in the first edition, I did not talk about my theory of perfect money in great detail. And the reason is because I didn't want to give competition this formula for success, basically. And I also have a table that shows
Perfect.
And there's also some things that I left out of this book that I'll probably have in the next book as well. I'm trying not to give out all the secrets so that I can get CloudCoin to dominate the 15 other, there's thousands of other currencies that we have to compete with, and I want to be up there in the top at least. But the theory of perfect money goes into the integrity, the fact that you don't want to have a currency that can be counterfeited. You don't want to have a currency that can be lost. You don't want to have a currency that can be stolen. You don't want to have a currency that can be just shut off or turned down. So that's the physical integrity. Logical integrity. You want to make sure that everybody is able to establish who the owner is, and that the owner can change without any kind of question about who the owner is. You want to make sure that it's all the same units. So you don't have like pennies which are made of copper, and you have dimes that are made of silver, and you got nickels that are made of nickel, and all those different metals. They don't actually work. That's what we call domain integrity. There's a lot of other things within the logical integrity that are scientific in nature, but there's also preferential integrity, and that is, can we trade it privately? We want to have a private currency. Can we think about it? Is it integers, which are whole numbers, or do we have to have fractions that, I want to spend 0.00058 bitcoins? That's something that's hard to think about.
Oh my gosh, it is.
And so we have just integers. Can we mark? Is it customizable? Can we trade it day and night all over the world instantly? Is it scalable? Can it handle the entire world traffic? So I talk about that, and I also compare BitShares. I'm sorry, not BitShares, but Bitcoin with gold, with the Federal Reserve notes, and with CloudCoin, and you can start to get an idea of how you can evaluate currencies and which ones are best. So that's a major thing that's new in the book. It was kept out of the last version because I just didn't want to give the competition any kind of knowledge that would help them with that.
Well, I didn't even realize you had a second book. Smack me. Oh. I had no idea, and you're already ready talking about a third one.
Yeah, I do want to come out with a third one. There's a whole bunch of things that I've learned about money and about the way that economists think about money, and the way that economists think about money, and the way that actually most cryptocurrency people think about money is just not very helpful, and it's too general, or it's actually misleading, and it's wrong. And so there's, I think, some redefinitions of money that we can have, and totally new ways of thinking about money that approach the economics. And of course, the thing that I'm holding out of this book is I'm not talking about what makes a money popular to use, what makes it so that people actually want to use the money. And that is, I think, our ace in the hole, our secret, and that's what we're going to be executing here, hopefully within the next year. And that's what's going to make CloudCoin really go bonkers.
And that is, again,
a secret.
Okay. Well,
but we did research in Venezuela.
And you know what though? It's you. It seems as though you've designed it to spend it.
That's right. And so cryptocurrencies are used often for investments. And of course, we've seen the investments go up, and we've seen it go down. We've seen it very volatile. CloudCoin, I don't think is going to be volatile. It's going to be very stable. It will go up in value, but it should stay up in value. And so not a lot of bouncing around. And it's going to be tremendously useful in video games, in virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's going to be tremendously useful, just for privacy. If you want privacy,
Absolutely.
It's going to be the privacy coin. It's going to be useful in that it's going to be able to scale better than any other coin, I think, and take on the entire world population. And it's also going to be fun. So we're going to actually be able to have pictures, and it's going to be useful for more than just money. Yeah. So I think that it's going to it deserves to be a leader in the currency, certainly.
Yeah, well, I am very happy that you connected and with BitShares, and looking forward to that totally coming through, and all the other things that are going to come from it. The secret that you have that we may never know, but I remember talking to you many times, and your mind just keeps going. It's way ahead of, you have so many ideas and things that you want to do. Let me get to some more questions over here. Joshua Todd, hey, if I already have CloudCoin, how do I get it onto BitShares?
So what you'll do is you'll go to our website that we're building right now. So it's not done yet, and you can't do it right now. But you'll go to our website, and you will put in your BitShare wallet address, which is probably your username, and then you will upload it's got like a file attachment. You attach your files. It uploads those. Our servers then check to make sure that those are authentic. And then it's going to send a message to our wallet to send your wallet the exact amount in CC tokens. And then you can take those CC tokens and you can trade them on your BitShares platform for anything that you want to. So the process of doing this is literally the time that it takes to type in one field and to put in your CloudCoins. It's 100% anonymous. You don't have to log in. You don't have to sign up for anything. And this allows people to use CloudCoins to put BitShares, we call the CC token, the user-issued asset, into anybody's wallet. And then there's the reverse process. It's exactly the same thing. So we're not going to have, hopefully, any logins, any accounts. It's going to be the most private system possible.
I love it. Just, it's just when friends share money amongst each other, something, and say, hey, buddy, I know you need some help. Here's a couple $100. It's all just between each other, whatever it is, Hey, thanks for helping me out. Here you go. Here's,
But I will give you a little something interesting, and that is that, me and Stan have talked about possibilities. These things are things that I wouldn't just talk to the general public about, because I wouldn't want them to go and steal the idea. I wouldn't want to wake up and find out the Chinese government has, done the same thing. But so we have talked about these deals, and they are sold on them, and they want to, so we're going to be working very closely together, and hopefully we will create an organization, and we'll actually, build some new technology that's just going to blow people away. It's going to be wonderful.
I can't wait. That's what I'm saying. I know, just from my conversations with you too, that your mind just keeps going, and it's just amazing how I'm looking forward to all the things that are going to happen too. I'm looking forward to it because I have a little idea of some of it, or at least the way your mind goes forward, and it's going to be fun. Like you said, it's going to be fun as well. And it's also for those blue rockers out there that are preppers. I would see that Sean is kind of coming from that perspective as well. He wants to make sure his money is his.
Well, certainly I'm a libertarian,
right?
And I do believe in freedom and privacy. But I would tell if you're worried about the electricity going out permanently, then you want to make sure you got gold and silver, because CloudCoin is a digital currency. It does depend on the internet. It does depend on electricity.
It's true.
Yeah.
No lightning zaps, please. Holy cow, that's true.
But of course, the entire I don't think there's any chance of of the network going down. We couldn't even bring down Saddam Hussein's network that was put up there by the CIA, and we went to war with them. So I don't think that we're going to see the internet go down or lose electricity or anything.
Let's hope not here. Okay. Somebody asked about Jared, and they want an update on Jared with the Rise Bank. I don't have those updates, and I don't think Sean has those updates. We leave that to Stan, who does the talking with him, because he's working hard too,
Yeah, Jared is in the game. He's working hard, and he's coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
And so I know that he's a very creative person, and he, of course, in my opinion, is one of the real, he's one of the real PhD. He doesn't have a PhD, but he certainly is one of the real programmers in this economy. He's one of the real movers and shakers.
Yeah.
And he's being active.
Yeah, he was the one who told me about you, and saying, even though he said he's kind of competition, but he's a genius. He's a genius. And then that's when I interviewed you about 5 minutes after I had first met and interviewed him. Betty A is here. Hey there, Betty. As a brand newbie, do you still have to start with Bitcoin and exchange for others? How do I get started? Certainly not with Cloud.
So with CloudCoin, you just click on that link down below that you put there, and that actually goes to the educational kit. And the educational kit, you're supposed to get my book, although I don't know if I've got the. We've got to put that link in there. Just remembered that I forgot to put the link to the book in that site. But hopefully you will get the book, and you will get the videos, and you'll get some Cloud coins to play with. And if you want to make a serious investment, you can also do that at that webpage.
Well, I think that I have a link to the book, at least if it's not in this video, it's in my past videos. But I believe that link is to book number 1. However, I'm sure it would lead you to book number 2. So I got to make sure that I add that to my list of books. Yeah, Betty, just go down there, the link below, click on that, and you'll see it's like fun. It's fun. It's definitely fun. At farm, I just bought Quints with debit card and took seconds. Yeah, it actually takes seconds to for your transaction, everything to go through.
Well, I just bought some the other day, and I got a message that it would take 3 days for me to get them. I'm sorry, 3 weeks.
Maybe it's you.
Maybe it's me.
Maybe it's you, Mr. CloudCoin RAIDA guy, the guy that's trying to.
Is the CloudCoin guy trying to buy it? Forget it.
Yeah, the guy that's trying to make sure everything can be hidden. Yes. I think they're checking you out. Let's see here. Yeah, you better check that card. Your woman is using it on against you there. Let's see. Oh, thanks, you guys. Good people in here. Please show your support to Sean by clicking the like button, and also to Blue Rock Talk. And if you would like to donate, please donate to Blue Rock Talk. That would be great in crypto. And please invite other people to join us. We're at 12,000 subscribers. We're over that, so I'm very happy about this. Okay. Okay. Everybody's talking amongst themselves. Okay, and so we're good. We're good there. I may have skipped a whole bunch because I've got too many programs running here. Here we go. How does the value of CloudCoin go up? Does the value stay stable? That's from AJ2Net. AJ2Net.
Well, right now we're spending it into existence, and we're building the infrastructure. This includes all of the software, the exchange, and all that stuff. And so I would expect that the price would be pretty stable for probably the next 3 years. Now, we don't know what kind of effect the BitShares is going to have. It could cause it to go up quite dramatically, and we don't know, what kind of effect this liquidity is going to have. And certainly, if we start doing marketing, that's going to really push up the price, I believe. So the time that I expect it really to go up in value is in about 3.5 years. That's when we'll have all the Cloud coins in circulation, and there won't be any more in circulation. And so that will be a time that it goes up in value. But what makes what makes it go up in value? Well, it's not necessarily supply and demand, because there is something called supply and demand that sets the price, but that's an oversimplification. We've got different components, and each component acts as a choke. And so we have something called the theory of constraints that we use to model the price of CloudCoin. And the first constraint is the network itself, the RAIDA. And the second constraint is the pure software. Third constraint is the liquidity. The fourth constraint is, do people know about it, which is marketing. And the fifth constraint is just, does it work over time, and has it proven itself that it's going to keep working and lasting? And so all those things, and each one of those things has lots of different subcategories, but any one of those things could constrain the price of CloudCoin. If the RAIDA failed, then the price would go to zero, because it would prove that the whole thing doesn't work. If the software lost everybody's CloudCoins, then that would also constrain the price. So right now our biggest constraint is liquidity. Once we get that solved, then the next constraint will be marketing.
All right. Well, hopefully Blue Rock Talk helps you out, and hopefully some of our next stuff will help out with a lot of word of mouth with some of the really cool ideas I know I have for you, as well as you have, and I'm sure Stan has. And I hope as well that Kevin Harrington gets on the ball with you. I'm sure he's famous for great marketing, for sure. It was fun. I know him from, of course, infomercial world, but also working with him in it. Not just, he's a nice guy and he's around all the events, but just being on set with him and him throwing you out some ideas. I remember one time we were doing something, and basically what they do is they throw the talent in all together on one day, and you're selling a product that you've probably never seen before. Sometimes you've never seen it before, and it's a prototype, and they shoot it, and then they make it. If it's successful, they make it as
That's interesting.
It goes, right?
Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes it's already out there. Maybe there's a new version, or they already have made so many. And so there's different ways. But sometimes it's a prototype, and it doesn't even work sometimes.
Yes.
But then a lot of times you're flown in, you meet the other talent at the same time. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? And so no one really always has that relationship. And I remember we were doing something, and he actually walked up and he was like, Connie, touch that piece of, that product. Touch it, feel it when you're talking about it. I was like, yeah, duh.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about it because I'm still trying to get, is this person going to scoot closer? Are they going to get away? Do I say this? What does this thing do? I've never seen this work yet, kind of thing. So it's funny. He's like, just touch it. So really, really nice guy and really knows what he's talking about. So it's very cool that he's going to be a part of that with you.
Well, he's going to be working the booth that I'm going to be working. I plan on being at the booth the full time, and I guess he's going to be there for a lot of time as well. So we'll probably get to know each other. Yeah,
he's used to those booths. He's a little country man. To me, he's just a country guy. Yeah. I can just, he's probably got it may not be flannel, but it's probably a checkered shirt and some jeans on. And
yes.
Just, right?
That's right.
I can picture him in a rocking chair just hanging out. How y'all doing? Just a nice guy. Yeah. Let's see here. How can a cloud coin be exchanged when it's stored in your mind?
So we developed and storage format.
Oh, say that again.
We can store the
Skype kind of messed up a little bit. Can you say that again?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So we have developed a store in mind format, and basically what happens is that we cannot store the serial numbers, so we have to still record those and write the serial numbers down. But what we can do is then you can create two passphrases and put them in there, and that will store it. Now the passphrases that we're using are a password and a email address. So they're pretty simple. They could be a lot more complicated if you want to. But what you would do is you would you'd store it in mind, and then you'd call up a person and then say, here's the serial numbers, and here is the username, and here's the password. And they would put that in the same software, and it would do all this stuff and create what are called hashes of that, and it would then be able to retrieve those cloud coins out of the RAIDA.
And I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's been a mess, and we've kind of put it on the back burner. We're going to wait until we have a new password recovery technology before we put that back in, and that makes it easy because right now if you lose your coins, good news, you get to get them back, but the bad news is you have to wait 2 years. So we got this new technology that's going to make it so that you can get it back immediately, and we're going to wait because people just lose for whatever reason. When we do store and mine, they're losing them too much, and so that's causing a lot of support calls and unhappy people. But we're going to try to make it so that it's much easier.
Excellent. Yeah. And I think, I might be wrong, you tell me, but it's not just about CloudCoin on BitShares. You're going to have a bigger relationship with BitShares, I feel. I think you're going to be doing a lot more with them. I'm not sure what it is, and I don't know, and we don't want to jinx anything, but you are going to pull together and use that RAIDA a little more, I would think.
Yeah, there's a lot of needs in society, and nobody's been able to solve those problems. And I think that we could solve a whole bunch of huge problems, and that we could actually dominate the entire global banking system. And that's just one of the things. And so I think that together we really have the technology to cover all the bases, and that we have the organizations to do what we need to do. So I think it would just be like putting fire on gas, a match to gasoline. I think it could really explode. And so I'm looking forward to getting on the BitShares and being able to move on to the next project.
So are we. Can't wait, because I know it's going to make it user-friendly as well. I know you're going to be incorporating a lot of ideas, or at least I hope so, for sure. Pat Konchak says, how will CloudCoin be listed on BitShares? CloudCoin, CCT, how do you see it being on there?
So I think it's going to be CC token. That's what we've talked about, but it isn't set in stone yet. So that might be a decision for somebody who knows about marketing to figure that out. I don't know. we're calling it CC token right now because we want to make sure that it doesn't say CloudCoin, because then people will think that it is the actual CloudCoin,
right,
which it's not.
Right. I gave you a couple ideas. Don't say them out loud because I don't want anybody to buy them. But do you remember what they were?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Dude, you read right over it. I knew you did. Because even Stan went, oh, that's cool. He said something like, that was cool.
Oh, really? I'll have to go back and look at that.
I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you a bit. But you need to snag them before somebody gets them, because they're little words and they're perfect for you. I knew you passed it by. Stan was like, cool. I was like, I know, those are cool. Let's see. Lauren Overman, how is a CloudCoin that has not been spent in a while be reauthenticated?
So we consider a CloudCoin lost if it hasn't changed hands or been authenticated for 2 years. And this is like I think it's like the biggest problem of CloudCoin. If there is a problem, it's this that people don't like about it. But what they do like about it is you can lose it and get it back. And so if we didn't have a timeout period, then there'd be no way that we could tell it was lost, and no way that we could get it back to people. But the way that we tell is that when you authenticate, there are basically 3 columns in the database: the serial number, the authenticity number, which is like the password, and the last month that it was spent, or the last month it was authenticated. So we can track not the day, not the hour that it was changed hands, but we can tell which month was the last one that it was authenticated. So every month we can run a script on our RAIDA, and we can basically mine for lost cloud coins. We can get the little shards or little pieces of it, and we can put it all together and put together a CloudCoin from that. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, I think so. You know what I love about the crypto world is you guys have an idea and you go, let's do it. And you continue to fix as you go along because you guys are used to that with computers. Boom, 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 fix it as you go along. I love that about you guys. In the real world or whatever you want to say the other part of the world is, they have a business idea of some sort. They have to put together the structure. They wait. They do this. They do that. They wait. It takes years, it seems, before they get things going. And I've noticed that, you guys are just like, get it out there. Let's go. We'll fix it. Well, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, and you just do. You change as you go along. It's kind of like we are all a part of this big beta test that you guys are having. And it's cool. It's fun. It can drive somebody like me crazy because I don't, all this stuff goes, but as long as y'all keep it user-friendly for people like me, which there's a whole lot more of me than there is of you guys. I mean, you guys are the core throwing it out there, but you want us to buy and invest and be a part of all of these things. So keep it easy for us. And if you change, make it easy for us to change, and everything should be fine. But it is amazing still when I've talked to businessmen with, very well-off business guys that are interested in getting into crypto. They still take their time, and you're like, dude, what are you waiting for? Someone else is ahead of you already. See you bye. A week ago, sorry. That's like years now in crypto time. So let's get to more of these questions here. Pat Konchak, one of our buddies here, you claim that CloudCoin is quantum safe. Do you have a quantum computer so we can see the logs? Ooh.
So there is something called irreversible cryptography, and this is where you take something and you run a hash on it, and then you might delete half the hash, the last hash, and so there would be no way for them to reverse it. And even if they did make some guesses, they might find something that matches, but that match might have a collision on it, so they wouldn't know absolutely for certain. And so with something like Bitcoin, or with the public ledger, you've got these public and private keys, and these keys can be, in theory, hacked within about 2 minutes from a quantum computer that's set up right. We don't know that that's true. We do have no evidence to support that it's actually happening. But we do have evidence that governments are very, very, very interested in cryptography, and they spend a lot of money and quite often are decades ahead of what is happening in the private sector. So we see that in the private sector we're getting these quantum computers, and they're being used for they could already be hacking this stuff. Now with CloudCoin, since we don't rely on encryption, we basically rely on well, let's start by the CloudCoin has these 25 authenticity numbers. This is 400 bytes of data, and so just one of these is 16 bytes. And so when we talk about encryption, usually we're talking about in terms of bits. So we got 128 bits, but we're actually talking about 16 bytes of variability, of randomness. And nobody's going to try to guess these things because they're just too impossibly huge. And with a computer, you could take the public ledger, which is written on a file, and you could attack it. And you could attack it millions of times per second because you could copy that public ledger onto many different quantum computers, and you could run them in parallel. But with CloudCoin, you do not have a public ledger, and so there's nothing that somebody can attack. The only way that you can talk to it is to send it signals. And so we can send it detection requests, and we can do that, in theory, 160,000 per second, which is huge, but it's nothing like what would be required in order to actually hack just one of these numbers. And while they were doing it, we have the luxury of, oh, look, somebody's trying to hack us, we turn them off. And even if they were able to get one of the numbers, well, we just do what's called a frac fix, and we'd fix it in a second, and we'd change it back to whatever we want it to be. So CloudCoin is quantum safe. It does not rely on encryption. It relies on hiding data, and there's no... if somebody was able to get the database, they could just see it. They could just look at it and see it. We don't even bother encrypting it. Except we do encrypt some things. Like if you want to embed a PIN number or your biometric information, we will encrypt that using a hash, which is irreversible. But if you throw away data, quantum computers can't do anything with it. And if you can't get the data, quantum computers can't do anything with it. And so it is absolutely quantum safe.
No, it's cool. Actually, you explained that very well.
We don't have public keys and private keys to decrypt.
Right. Okay, go ahead. I got a bunch of questions, but go ahead. Did you have more to say?
I was just going to say that suppose that you've got a file on a USB drive, a CloudCoin on a USB drive, and it's buried in your backyard. How can a quantum computer affect that? It can't. I mean, so they can't attack the actual money. They can only attack the RAIDA, which is the authentication system.
Yeah.
And even then, it's impossible.
Sometimes I see you go around things. I'm like, that's something in the future. Wait a minute, he's got to get a little shot of vodka there. All right, so two quick questions here. If you can give a Reader's Digest, just a couple sentences
okay.
to describe CloudCoin again for people that just came in. Just what is CloudCoin, and then a couple sentences just to also say what RAIDA is.
So CloudCoin is a currency which gets its physical integrity from the cloud, the redundancy of the cloud, and not from cryptography. And it's different in that with cryptography, you have to have a user account, you have to have a private key and a public key, you have to log in, and the person that you send the money also has to have that. That's a public ledger system. CloudCoin is a discrete currency in which the currency themselves have the accounts. No human being has to log into anything. And so in that sense, CloudCoin is like normal money that we use every day, like dollars and coins.
Very private, very private. So Betty A., is it possible to start with only a tiny amount? I realize most people have more disposable income. She wants to start with a tiny, tiny amount. And absolutely, the answer is yes to that.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly, you can buy like 250 CloudCoins, I think, is the smallest that you can buy, and that might cost you $7. Yeah.
250 for $7? Nice.
200, yeah.
That's nice. Okay. All right. And soon, there's some Blue Rocker stuff coming in the future, so hang in there. Yeah, that'll be cool too. I can't wait, Sean. That's going to be awesome. What is, okay, we got that one. Hold on here. They got into some deep conversation here. I was still pulling up some questions in the back. So that one's going too slow. Oh, that one was a good question. Hold on. Income Mobile is not just a Blue Rocker. He is a Blue Rock prepper. I like that. That's nice. So are you? You okay. Well, CloudCoin, okay, now I don't know what this is, so maybe you explaining this. Will CloudCoin be compatible or supported on devices like Trezor? I'm not sure what Trezor is.
Unfortunately, I don't know what Trezor is either, but maybe I could.
Must be a blockchain thing or a cryptocurrency thing, because I'm still learning it, but you wouldn't know that because you're a cloud guy. Is CloudCoin a completely decentralized coin?
Okay, Trezor is a hardware wallet, and that wallet is going to probably keep your cryptographic keys on it, and It could be that Trezor could add some functionality to store files in it, and that it could do it in an encrypted way. So the answer is, with CloudCoin, since we separate the logic from the data, you can do anything that you want with it. It's not Turing complete, but if you put it in any kind of programming language, then it becomes Turing complete if that language is Turing complete. So they could actually import it into that wallet or any software, and that's what makes it very powerful. So you can actually do anything that you want with it.
It's funny, some of the questions coming in, they are kind of related to blockchain type stuff. Is it affiliated with Harry Canary Coin? And
never heard of that.
Yeah. Keep in mind that this is CloudCoin. It is totally off of the blockchain, and Sean has basically created something brand new technology, but he is merging with BitShares on the exchange. And that's what I find unbelievable, because yours is totally off the blockchain. It's all about privacy up in the cloud, and extremely easy, where you're putting it on the blockchain, but there's reasons for everything, and it's going to be beautiful to merge the two technologies. You're not getting rid of the total technology. You can buy it, like I have the link below to buy it, or in the future you can go on the exchange of BitShares.
Yeah, the blockchain is what I call a super base, and the RAIDA is a super base as well. And actually, I've identified 12 other super bases that have yet to be developed. And so there's a lot of technologies out there that could serve, let's say, the greater human civilization in general, that haven't even been created yet. And so I think that we're going to see some radical differences. This money is all about command and control. It tells us what to do. And that's what government tries to do, Only with money, it's all voluntary. And so I think that we could see some big, giant changes in the way that we treat government. We probably will not need government, at least as much. And we won't need the banking system. And so I think that we're getting ready to see some major changes in civilization.
I think so too. I'm glad to be a part of it, because I think it's going to be some good things here with all this, especially. Sean, what can I spend my CloudCoins on right now?
So right now you would have to spend it peer-to-peer, and that means that you need to find somebody that wants to take it. And I can, we are creating networks of people to do that. In the future, there's going to be xyzbuys.com, which will actually take it hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because we're well into that development. But whenever if you get CloudCoins, you want to spend them. I tell people, don't try to hoard them. Try to spend them as fast as you can and get a good deal for it. What you have to do is you have to tell the people that if they want to change them for dollars, they just go to the BitShares network and they can change them instantly. Okay.
All right. You are becoming a shorter man as we talk. Can you put your computer this way? Just you can tilt it down if you'd like. You're becoming Kilroy. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? There you go. Show off that beautiful suit that you've got on right there. There you go. Right. Simple question from Pat. Will the Light Wallet have a backup feature?
I think so, because that's a really popular feature, and so I think that we'd at least have that.
Brad Mulder, Dr. Mulder, the storage of CloudCoin info reminds me of how LimeWare and other torrent sites store data. Example, multiple partial packets on multiple computers. Is that correct?
Yes. So there is some of that in there. The only thing is, some of the big differences is some of them are all in serial, where you talk to one and you talk to the other and you talk to the other, where with RAIDA it's all parallel, but there is some similarities there.
Does RAIDA get its name by similar RAID computer backup systems, a similar meaning?
So RAIDA is a marketing name, and
right.
So and we were going to originally call it Hydra, because it's like this creature that if you cut off its head, the heads grow back and it's always there to authenticate your coins.
Oh, I love it. That's hilarious.
It was going to be the highly independent detection agent, something like, I can't remember.
Oh, that's cool.
But it shows, we realized that there's some kind of comic book super villain group called Hydra, and we did not choose that. Instead, we wanted to call it RAIDA because it sounds like RAID, which is a technology that's already well established and understood and appreciated. Well, of course, you've got the bug spray RAID, but you've also got a way of storing data across multiple hard drives that makes it so it's impossible, or at least difficult, for you to lose that data if one of those hard drives should fail. And so it was named after that. We just put the extra A at the end. It does mean instead of being a redundant array of inexpensive disks, which is RAID, we are a redundant array of independent detection agents.
I love it. I think it's cool. And it is very much like, I always say it when we talk about it, it's like NASA. When NASA has a special project, a secret project going on, and let's say they have 12 men working on it, they tell one guy one thing, another guy another thing. Those 12 men never talk. They just know a piece of the puzzle. They never talk to where they can put the pieces of the puzzle together, and that's basically what you are doing, and you can nail that onto anything whatsoever, right? Like when these people I don't get this, it's just not my age group. I don't know if I was in that age group that it would matter, but probably if I was in that age group, I'd probably be into it. But shoes, when people sell these shoes for hundreds and thousands of dollars, yes, you can authenticate those.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, keep in mind that we can authenticate them in theory, because we actually haven't actually done that. And we've got a company called RAIDAC that we're creating that is raising money to do research into things like that. But just to tell you how we would do it is that we would have to be able to read and write data into those shoes. And what that might mean is that we put a thread that is made of iron, and that thread might run around the entire back of the shoe or something like that. And what happens is that with that thread, we could actually write data to it. And so we would have the original owner, they would put a CloudCoin and store it on there. And then they would register that CloudCoin with our product service. And then when somebody goes to sell it at the store, they would have to then test it to see if it's authentic. And if they knew that it was authentic, then they could also change the numbers that are on the CloudCoin so that only the new owner would know that, and then the new owner could, with a device, show that those shoes are authentic and real.
It's amazing.
And that's what we're doing with Celebrium, by the way.
Right, and also some stuff in the future that we're going to do. You're going to be doing that with a lot of things, and yes, one of the things as well that I think would be perfect with Stan's Silk Highway and art. And somebody earlier had asked if you could use this with art, and you said absolutely. You've talked about that before, artwork.
Mm-hmm. So we could, do it with any kind of product, including pills, we believe. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. And you know what? When I say it's cool, I mean, and it's terrible of me right now to think this way, but I think it's unbelievably cool for all the reasons that would be great for. However, but I'm just thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of money to be made because of that. I'm kind of looking at like maybe you'll be the first trillionaire. The idea, what you can do with that is amazing.
Well, I haven't even thought about that. I'm just having a fun time developing this technology.
Come on, you prepper. Well, what is it, libertarian? What is it? Come on, you haven't thought about that? Come on.
I haven't thought about being a trillionaire. I would like to pay off my house.
Oh, okay. You'll be fine with that. Yeah. But yeah, that's true. I know. I just think that I do believe that. And I wasn't the person who said that, but I do believe whoever did say that the first trillionaire, I think, will be made in the crypto world. Lots of questions here. I'm trying to catch up with them here. Lauren Overman, man. Lauren knows their stuff. Will my company pay me in CloudCoin someday? Will the government have to know?
So I believe that that your employer will pay you with CloudCoin because it will be the best currency that they can have, and it'll benefit them and you and everybody else. And the government will be all pissed off about it, but they won't be able to do anything about it because they will not know. And so we will probably see the governments lose the ability to tax in the same way that they're taxing now. They'll have to cut back. That will actually make things more efficient, I believe, in the long run, much more peaceful too. And it'll cut out all of the hackers that are getting money through the government. And I say that they're not. They're just people that are using the system to get money. And it'll also cut out the bankers as well. We won't have any banks anymore.
Okay, so at one point, I met this guy when I was doing work with Home Shopping Network and stuff with Kevin Harrington, infomercial kind of stuff. And people would bring me products all the time. And this guy had brought me a product, and it was a product that was rheumatoid arthritis. He had made this cream, and it was helping people with the rheumatoid arthritis, amongst other things. But basically their joints and their knees, everything was feeling good, and it was actually coming back. Their fingers were coming back, the use of their hands. And he said he was using whatever he was using, right. Somebody one day came in and they threw him up against the wall. This is what he said. This is what he claimed, that they threw him up against the wall and said, no more. We were never here, and you've never done this, and you're shutting this down now. And or bad things are going to happen to you. So do you ever fear that, from what you just said, that would happen to you because of what you just said?
Oh, yeah, I'm counting on it. And so I think that this technology is going to be very disruptive. It's going to piss off a hell of a lot of people, and they're going to want me dead. And I've got a lot of security features, but I've also got a big life insurance policy. And I basically, when I decided, hey, I'm going to do this, the first thing I had to decide is it worth dying for, and is it worth risking my life for? And I decided that I've lived long enough, and I'm certainly willing to take the risk. But we take a lot of security around our house and around. We had a rattlesnake show up the other day, and that rattlesnake got his head blown off. So.
Whoa! I thought that was part of your protection. You could have rattlesnakes all around you too.
Oh, I should have kept that snake.
That's right. What are you thinking? Come on.
He was acting like he owned the place.
Nope, I guess not. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he was confident on his last seconds there.
But we planned on me dying. Everything is set up so that if I die, that everything keeps going. So the biggest defense that we think that we can have is that I disappear and it doesn't matter. Everything keeps going. As long as people know that. As long as people know that they take me and they put me in concrete shoes and they throw me in the ocean, that's not going to stop anything from happening. Okay.
Wow. Well, I like to hear that, but I hope nothing happens to you because I know you have a whole lot more ideas, and I know they're going to be fun. They really are. So someone was asking about why you instead of Dash. Are you familiar with Dash?
I certainly know Dash, and I've seen them, and I couldn't say something great in detail, but yeah, I know Dash. Yeah.
Yeah. So why you instead of them?
So Dash has been very successfully commercially, and the reason is because, number one, we're 100% anonymous, and that means that Dash has to track everything that happens. Also, there's some question about whether Dash can just be shut down or turned off. I'm not sort of hack yet, but also the fact that you don't have to have a user account, you don't have to log in. That's nice. Dash cannot transfer into a virtual world, so you can't take Dash into a video game with you, or in a virtual world like you can with CloudCoin. Dash has got logic and data mixed in together, and there's probably 20 other things as well.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Somebody was talking about some little conversation that was going on that I want to bring to your attention. And it was kind of about, and I just skimmed through it, and it was about the government taking over kind of thing, and revelations in the Bible and that kind of stuff happening. And, you don't think you're a part of any of that, do you? Of any of the future stuff, or any of the stuff that may be a part of Revelations?
So I think that, if you talk about like the number of the beast, I'd say that that's much more aligned with like a private key or something, or public key with the cryptocurrencies than it would be with CloudCoin. I don't, when I look at the Bible, I see that Jesus was into investments based on the parables that he talked about people being given money and being expected to make that money worth more. So I think that Jesus was a capitalist. And does that have anything to do with Revelations? Well, I don't know too much about Revelations, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's when you tune in on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern to Stan's Bible lectures.
All right.
And he will teach you everything you need to know on a college level. He's really good. He's really quick, too, about everything. He really knows what he's talking about. The essence of this discussion is that it will be hosted on BitShares. BitShares is the exchange. Exactly. Somebody was asking about Ethereum. It's like, no. BitShares is the exchange.
Yeah, BitShares is really, I think, it's very private. And so I think it's the most private exchange that there is. I really like the way that they do things, and it's very revolutionary. I'm still trying to figure out how they do it, because it's pretty good.
But I mean, you feel great with that group of people.
Yes, and so I have a lot of principles. For example, we don't have any RAIDA in China because we don't want to put anybody's at risk, and we don't do business with communists because we don't want to help communists. And certainly we want everybody to be private, and we want everybody to be free.
I just saw one of the telegrams. I think it was Vietnamese. You got some Vietnamese interested. That's my favorite food of all time, by the way.
Yeah, so we're happy to help dissidents, and we did a lot of work in Venezuela, get around their governments, and something like CloudCoin is a way that they can prosper and do global trade without. In fact, that video that you saw,
the one that I got as the promo,
the diamond one, that was made by Vietnamese.
Okay, I thought so.
And it cost the equivalent of $20 in CloudCoins.
Oh my gosh.
And so, the Vietnamese, I think the ones that are in the know understand that their country, that communism stuff, it doesn't work.
Well, you know what?
And I think that they wish that we would have won, or that we would have stuck around.
Let me show that. That's funny. I'm going to show that video here real quick so people can see it. And I made a promo for him at one point. It was really cool a long time ago. I still got that. We'll play that one later. But here's the video that he's talking about. I love it. I think it did a great job, and I'm happy that you guys added me there at the end there. Hold on here and watch this, everybody. Let me move everything out of the way so that you can see it. So I'll turn everything off, and here we go. This is really cool. I love it. And here we go. We'll watch it now. Isn't that cool? I absolutely love that. I don't know if y'all had sound on that. Let's see. Well, maybe the sound didn't. Wait a minute. I hope there was sound on it for you. Yeah, it was. Okay, good. Oh, did I catch it? It was a little vodka over there. Yeah. We'll get back to some of the questions. That's just a beautiful video, and I was very happy to be given that, and you all added the Blue Rock Talk on there.
But how do you do business in Vietnam with regular dollars?
You use cloud instead.
Yeah, and what,
Oh,
yeah.
say that again. You got cut off. I'm sorry.
I said, what a bargain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
$20, I'm thinking, or 20 cloud coins. I'm thinking, let me get a hold of that guy.
We probably fed a family over there for a month or something. I don't know.
I think that's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is CloudCoin completely decentralized coin, akin to Bitcoin, proof of work stake, or what?
So there's no proof of work because, it is completely decentralized. And so when we talk about centralization, there's different things that we need to talk about. One is the data. Is the data centralized? And the second thing is the administration centralized. And so with the Bitcoin, really you could run the whole thing on just one blockchain. You don't need to have any more than one computer. It does copy the databases and sends them out. With CloudCoin, all of the databases are different. And so they're what's called a no-share database. As far as the administration, with something like BitShares, they're administered by the miners. And so everybody that has a computer basically has control over their computer, and they could, if they wanted to, go and change that code. And in fact, that's what happens with these hard forks. That's where the miners get together and say, hey, we need to make this thing faster, so we're going to change the software and we're going to do that. And other people say, no, we just need to keep it the way it is. And then they have a big fight, and then they go their separate ways.
Right.
and we end up with two different coins as a result of that.
Right, that's right. That's right.
With CloudCoin, the administration is also divided amongst different consortium members, and there is some central coordination, and so we decide whether we're going to add, and I'm not actually part of the RAIDA or in the RAIDA, but they decide what kind of enhancements they're going to do, what kind of software they're going to use, and who to hire and fire, basically, or who's going to get RAIDA if people disappear. And right now we have what's called one network, but in the future we hope to have a whole bunch of networks, and we have these things called sentinels, which basically hide the data, and that data can be spread out amongst as many as 32 other clouds behind the main cloud.
So as much as you try to keep secrets, I think you tell a lot, so I can't imagine what you don't tell. I mean, seriously. So the number
we don't tell who's actually doing it.
Oh, okay. Well, right. Okay.
Because they might get killed themselves.
What a responsibility, huh? How much does that job pay?
It pays a huge amount.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we've got some of our members are making like $32,000 a month or something.
All right. Yeah. In cloud, or?
Well, I should say that they're being paid in cloud because we don't pay anybody in dollars, and then they sell them, and some of them are able to sell them for quite a bit. And so basically every consortium member is in charge of their own marketing. We don't have any kind of central marketing. That's kind of screws people up, because when they Google buy CloudCoin, they find all these different websites, and there's some in the Philippines, and there's some in Russia, and some all over. And
there's a link down below.
Right. And so what usually happens is they go to the U.S. site and buy it there, cloudcoins.us.
Right.
And they're able to charge the most, by the way. Quite often.
Excellent. Because
of that. People want to buy, they don't want to buy from Philippines, they want to buy from Americans. But we have something called the trusted sellers. And what that means is that if you buy from them and you don't get your cloud coins, you can come to me, and I will make sure you get them. And so, and by the way, we just got our first trusted buyer, and that is a person that is basically required to buy any cloud coins at a certain price if somebody wants to sell them. And that makes cloud coins much more liquid. This is something very new.
So give me an example of that.
Okay, so suppose that you go to get your hair done, and you are going to pay your hairstylist in cloud coins. And your hairstylist looks at you and goes, well, what the hell am I going to do with this? I need dollars. And you say, oh, actually, if you need dollars, you'll go to the trusted buyer and you will exchange them immediately. But what you want to do is you want to then pass them on to the next person. And you can tell that next person, hey, if you want to trade them for dollars, go to the trusted buyer. And so the trusted buyer is going to exchange those coins to anybody who wants to. And that makes it liquid. Now everybody wants to pass it throughout the community.
Wow, there's so much to this. As simple and as easy as it is, there's also so much to it and so many things you can do to it. And it's all 100% legal.
I hope so. I'm not in jail yet, but in California, it's perfectly legal to make a digital currency and sell it.
Excellent, excellent. So that's why you're still there, even though, well, your depository. Yours is like.
Well, we're getting ready to create the trusted buyer from. You could call them heaven or hell, either one. But this one's going to be funded with hopefully millions of dollars. And if you decide you want to sell your cloud coins, you get on BitShares, or there might be some other avenues as well. But you can sell them instantly. So we want to make it so that if you decide that you don't want cloud coins, you want something else, you can get that. And of course, BitShares is a major part of that strategy.
Absolutely, that's great. I love it. Lots of stuff going on. Let's see. I just want to catch up on the questions here. What software language is CloudCoin using?
So I think that we're probably using about every one of them. I don't know. So we have a protocol, and as long as your software language sticks to that protocol, then it doesn't matter what you're using. And so, for example, we've got RAIDAs that are running on Windows. We've got RAIDAs that are running on Linux. Some of those are using PHP. Some of them are using C#, but that's just the RAIDA. When it comes to the client, we have the Android that's written in Java. We also have something called the Java Core, which is like a desktop application. We have something that's written in C#, which is for Windows. We have PHP. We've got JavaScript, and we got something called Node.js.
Oh my gosh!
And then we've got all these SDKs. So we've got C++. We've got Python. We've got an SDK for everything, and also SDKs for specific game engines like Godot and Unity and Unreal Engine. And so we try to make it so that everybody can use cloud coins in whatever they're doing. And so we try to make it available in every single language. Because it's just data. It's just data. Zeros and ones, and every single language that there is can handle data. And then it goes over the network as data, and then it arrives at the RAIDA servers as data, and that can be interpreted by any language. And so the languages don't matter.
Well, if you're just now joining us, this is Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, and it's Crypto Connie Tuesday. That right there is Sean Worthington. Oh, I forgot to put all that up afterward. Ding, there we go. That is Sean Worthington there, the founder of RAIDA and also CloudCoin, and he has made the jump or the merge with BitShares, and soon we'll be seeing that. It'll be effective, hopefully. One guy says he can do it in 30 days. Another guy says he can do it in 3. So
he says check on his progress on Sunday.
Oh, okay. So, are you giving him something? Well, I guess you pay in CloudCoin. So are you giving a nice CloudCoin bonus if he gets it done in 3 days?
Absolutely.
All right.
And so, he did volunteer. And I thought, well, I'll offer him a bonus if he can, and it's a big one too. So he's got every incentive to do it, and I hope he does it.
I love it. What about the other people? Are they going? Are they thinking, Well, you know what I would do? I'd say, I'm going to wait 3 days, see if he does it, and then I'll move on. Because if he does it, I don't want to waste my time.
Well, unless they watch your show, they don't know yet.
Oh, so, okay.
These other ones are hired hands. They're some outsiders.
Okay.
And but we need, it's so important that we really need to have fault tolerance, and we need to be able to make sure that if one thing goes wrong, the next thing will work.
Right.
Because the CloudCoin goes to the exchange, how much value will be exchanged every day?
Yeah.
And what is that going to do to the value of CloudCoin? And so I think it's going to make a big difference. And so we really want to get that, and every day matters.
Yeah. So you have a lot of pros. Do you feel there's any cons to this?
To BitShares?
Yeah.
No, I don't see any cons to it all. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is the government, and even then, BitShares is the best for that, because BitShares basically just connects two people together, and then they can trade. And so because of that's a totally different rules than if you have an escrow account in which everything's held. And so that's the biggest concern, is always the government. But BitShares is the best option, at least.
Well, from what you said, I will never ever go to your house without letting you know that I'm coming. I don't want to be where I see remnants of a rattlesnake anywhere. And
we got some very good dogs that can hear everything, and so we'd probably know that you were coming.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'll just let you know. I'll be kind enough to go, hey, you guys, I'm coming over for Sunday brunch. Is that all right?
Very good.
Well, thanks so much for your time. Is there anything else you can think of that you didn't say that you'd like to say?
I can't think of anything I'd like to say, but certainly I'm very optimistic about everything, and I think that everybody should be optimistic about CloudCoin. It's growing. Yep.
And the link is below if you'd like to purchase some. Head down there, and it's really neat, and it's really fun to do. Where are you going to be next? Where can people find you? Where are you going to do some live call-ins and go, hey, here I am?
Well, I've been invited to the Chicago Trade Show on the 22nd, and I'll be talking about money at the Chicago Trade Show.
Oh.
It's called the Trade Expo. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I'll be at the San Francisco Money Show, which is like an investors conference, and talking there. And of course, I'll be at Freedom Fest next month, and I'm really looking forward to taking the stage as a keynote speaker and being able to introduce my new theory of perfect money, which will be delivered there at that conference for the first time.
Excellent. I think we might need to talk about maybe Blue Rock being there to cover it with you.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun, especially these are all great places for food, too, and I'm a foodie, so come on.
I think all the food is free.
Oh well. All right, well, check that out, see if it's worthy. So, everybody, Sean Worthington of CloudCoin and RAIDA. Thank you, Sean, for being here. And you know what to do, right? You know what to do here at the end, right? You know. Ta-da! Ta-da-da-da! Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Sean, once again. And we will see you again here on Blue Rock Talk, I'm sure. Keep us up to date, okay?
I will.
We might have to check in Sunday to see if that dude has done it in 3 days.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do it with a countdown. What has he got, like 3 till 3 p.m. Eastern or what?
The pressure's on.
Is it?
I'll give him till midnight.
Midnight Sunday? Okay, what, yeah. Pacific?
Pacific, yes.
All right. We'll be ready. We'll have to all be together live at that time and put a webcam on him or something and see. Is he doing this all by himself?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Put a webcam on him. Come on.
And sometimes developers they want to show that they can that there's a better way to do it. And I've got my ways that I like to have it done. He wants to show me he can do it a better way, and yay.
That's true. All right. Yeah, you are good that way. What I've noticed, I know you're a teacher. You love to educate, but you're also very open to hear if there's another way, and you just are proving it right there. So That's good to be. That's probably why you've gotten where you've gotten. So thank you very much. We'll do it again. Whoa. Everybody, that is Sean Worthington of CloudCoin. Interesting guy. Very fun to listen to, and I appreciate that he joined us and was a part of Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis and Crypto Connie Tuesdays. Of course, we'll be back with that, and maybe next week Stan will be a part of it. Maybe we'll get some breaking news from Stan, but of course he's always going to be with us, the godfather of BitShares, and we wish him well on his cruise and enjoying his gigantic cabin, that hopefully one day there'll be a giant BitShares party and we can all be in there celebrating. At least that was an idea he had, and I think that was a good one. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, not sure when I'll be on Coast to Coast again, but Blue Rock Talk again in the future. Of course, more Crypto Connie Tuesdays, also Wasted Wednesdays. I'm working on that now. That is a serious look at the cannabis industry from all sorts of perspectives, as well as our signature Thursday on Blue Rock Talk, where we talk about all sorts of great things and far out things. And then our Friday, Bigfoot Friday, all these still to come. I'm working on a new little, it's not a new software thing, it's my old software. I'm just trying to connect some things that need more of a technical mind to pull together some audio so that we won't have the problems that it continues to do when I try to bring on more people, because I don't want to just bring on one other person and we talk about things. I want to bring on some other people so we have some really great conversations, because this is Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. This is Crypto Connie Tuesday, but it's also Earth's most interesting conversations. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button, and please, please, please share this with other people. We're over 12,000 subscribers. Let's create more Blue Rockers. They are someone in the know. See everybody later. If you'd like to give in crypto, check down below. Take care, everybody. Thank you for being here.